As we head into week 4 of the fantasy football season, I am giving you my starts and sits at the tight end position. One of the most difficult positions to really get right on a weekly basis. I'm going to do my absolute best to give you some good starting options. It might let you down, but because of some research, because of some information, I think they have a good chance to at least not kill your fantasy team. I mean, that's really what we're looking for right now, right? Drop a like on this video, comment down below any questions you have or your starts and sits of the week. All right, my first tight end start is David Njokool at the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons currently give up the second most points to the tight end position. And we've been waiting for this David Njokool breakout for quite some time now. Looked like a really good flyer here or a late round steal in fantasy football. It didn't work out weeks 1 and 2, but the snap percentages were there. Now in week 3, he went 9 for 89 and 1 touchdown. And again, like through the first 3 weeks, he's been averaging over 90% of the snaps. We were just waiting on that opportunity. So now that he's got that opportunity and it was successful for this offense in a win, let's ride that hot hand in a good matchup versus the Falcons. In week 1, the Falcons allowed Taysom Hill to be tight end 3. In week 2, they allowed Tyler Higbee to be tight end 5. And in week 3, they allowed Will Disley to be tight end 7. If this connection with Jacoby continues, we could see another top 12 week for David Njokool, and it's going to be hard to find a better streaming option than him this week. My second start of the week at the tight end position is Zach Ertz at the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers have actually been pretty good against fantasy tight ends. I think that more speaks to the fact that they haven't really faced tough tight ends, but they currently give up the 8th fewest points to tight ends. Zach Ertz is one of those tight ends. Again, what are we looking for in the position? Unless you have Pitts, Andrews, Kelsey, you just really don't want to be let down. You don't want to lose because of your tight end. And Zach Ertz has been reliable. He scored over 10 points every week so far this year. He is averaging 8.3 targets per game over the first 3 weeks. And now the Cardinals head to Carolina. Carolina's not a juggernaut on offense, but they've been a pretty good defense. They've been keeping people in games. And Kyler Murray's safety blanket right now is Ertz. He has that role in the team. So Ertz should be a top 8 tight end here in week 4. My third start of the week is TJ Hawkinson versus the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle currently gives up the 9th most points to tight ends in fantasy. In week 3, TJ Hawkinson was a tight end 11. He was really saved by that touchdown. But even though he only had 4 targets this week, in weeks 1 and 2, he saw 7 targets in both of those matchups. And it's really hard to find a tight end that you can reliably start this year. So TJ seems like a reliable option for me, keeping in mind that he plays in an offense right now that is firing on all cylinders. The Lions currently have they average the 2nd most points per game in the NFL. So that offense is on all cylinders. He might not score you 15 to 20 points, but he's not going to ruin your week. So Seattle is very vulnerable versus tight ends, and I think that the Lions could look to exploit them there. My fourth start of the week is Tyler Conklin at the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers are pretty much middle of the pack versus tight ends so far in fantasy this year. There needs to be a huge disclaimer here, though. It has to be Joe Flacco. If it's Zach Wilson, and it might be, I don't know when I'm recording this. If it's Zach Wilson, then there's probably other options that I want to look at rather than Tyler Conklin this week. But Joe Flacco has been really good, really reliable as far as feeding his tight ends. In week 3, Conklin put up 8 receptions on 8 targets, so he caught all of his targets for 84 yards, had over 16 fantasy points. Conklin's lowest target total in a week so far was in week 1 when he had 7 targets. He currently averages 8 targets per game. And this Jets defense seems pretty determined to continually put this team in a bad situation where they have to come from behind to win. So again, it has to be Joe Flacco, but I would start Conklin if Flacco is the starter. I'm going to give you some other good non-obvious tight end options this week that I think you can start. Tyler Higbee should be started. Dawson Knox a good option. Everett if Keenan is still out. Pat Freiermuth, these are all good options as well. And I'm going to quickly give you 2 sits of the week at the tight end position. Irv Smith, and this is probably my most hesitant sit because Irv could still have a good game. He's on a good offense, but the Saints are really, really good versus tight ends. They currently give up the 4th fewest points to the position. In week 1, they held Kyle Pitts to 2 catches for 19 yards. In week 2, They held Cameron Brate to 1 catch for 9 yards. In week 3, Ian Thomas had 2 catches for 13 yards. I would put that more on Baker. But the other two guys I expect more from. This linebacker core in New Orleans is really, really good, amongst some of the best in the NFL. So I'm not sure that this Vikings team is going to be able to win with Irv Smith. My second sit of the week is Mike Gesicki at the Bengals. Bengals are kind of middle of the pack as well versus tight ends. This has way less to do with the Bengals as a matchup and way more to do with the fact that this offense just doesn't prioritize Mike Gesicki. They just don't. He had a touchdown in week 2, but he's still averaging 2 receptions and 2 targets a game. There's been 2 games where he scored under 2 points. He's just not a reliable option. And he's also not the focal point of this offense. It's Waddle and it is Tyreek. So I'm sitting Mike, I'm sitting Irv. Why don't you guys comment down below? Let me know the players that you're starting or sitting, any comments that you have or questions that you have. Drop a like on the video, subscribe. Good luck this week. Get a W.
Yo, what's good? Thanks for watching. We got a lot more videos.
A lot more.
If you want more videos.
Watch it.
You can also subscribe.
Right now.
If you want to.
You need to.
And lastly, don't forget that you can sign up to support the show and get exclusive content by going to patreon.com/FantasyLand fam.